What's the meaning of life?
We can talk about this for hours. I think about it all the time. I still think about it.
I want to kind of reframe it a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
What's new right now in life for you? It's been 5 years since that Joe Rogan episode, and we got to know you so deeply then.
Yeah.
But what's happened in the last 5 years?
I don't retrospect on myself. I don't think about myself.
That's what's new?
No, I just don't. I couldn't tell you because I don't think about myself. I don't think about what's changed in my life and if my life is good or bad or if this happened or that happened. And I don't look at old photos of me, and I don't think about old trips, and I don't think about people that are gone. I don't think about the past. I just don't live in the past at all.
Do you pray?
Not in the traditional sense, no. I think prayer implies some kind of an external entity that I'm asking something for. And sure, like every person, I might have done that here or there. Usually we're fair weather friends with any God that's out there, right? When we need help, we're like, all prayer. And when we don't, we're like, everything's good, it's all me, right? So no, I don't pray in the traditional sense. But I am very deeply, I hate the word, but it's spiritual, right? And I would define spiritual in a negative way. It just means not mental, not physical, right? So
But why do you hate the word, sir?
Because it's overloaded with a lot of religiosity. All of a sudden, you're supposed to be a spiritual being. You're supposed to do yoga, and you're supposed to meditate, and you're supposed to sit cross-legged, and you're supposed to, then you argue about is it the Bhagavad Gita or the Ashtavakra Gita or the, all of these roads lead to the same place. The best way I would summarize my thinking on this is that I think existence itself is a miracle. The oldest questions are, why is there something instead of nothing? Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? These are all just variants in the same question. And there is no answer to that. Does that mean there can never be an answer to that? No, not necessarily, but if you start going down that road, you'll find all kinds of contradictions. For example, with just the meaning of life, right? If there was a single meaning of life, then we would all be slaves to it. Suppose the meaning of life was to help others, and we'd all be running around trying to help others, and there'd be no room for the individual. If the meaning of life was to be strong and fit and healthy, then we'd all be working out. We'd all be, I don't know how beer and biceps go together, but we'd all be building our biceps. So it's better that there is no overarching singular meaning of life. It's better that there are personal interpretations.
Gotcha.
However, within those personal interpretations, we all have, even though we have complete freedom to choose any meaning that we want, and we can create our own meaning at any moment, there are certain common things in what we all want as well. And so that's kind of the paradox of being a human individual, where you're completely an individual, but you're also completely interlinked to everything and anything that exists. You couldn't change a particle in the universe without changing this moment, right? Not in any meaningful way. Although that's not entirely true. There are error correcting mechanisms built into the structure of the universe. So, but a lot of things had to conspire in a very particular way to bring us here together today, right? So in that sense, everything is very interconnected. On the other hand, my life and your lives are single-player games inside our heads. We interpret everything from birth to death. Your experiences are singular to you. No one will truly ever understand you or get you, and you're always searching for that unity, that connection, that going back to oneness, source, togetherness, whatever you want to call it, community. There's many words for it. In terms of, back to meaning of life, the way I think of it is that existence itself is a miracle and everything else is science. And I think that's the best of all possible worlds. So spirituality is the side that lies on who am I? Why am I here? How long have I got? What am I here for? And these are questions that are really only answerable at a personal level. This miraculous little world that we're in is beautifully put together. I couldn't do a better job, for sure. I couldn't even begin to do the job. And just to give you some ideas as to, just some observations how well it's put together, the fact that science works, that's magic. Technology works, that is magic. You go back and you read books on magic or magicians or fantasy books, they don't have 100 of the power that we have. They don't have self-driving cars, they don't have smartphones, they don't have antibiotics, they don't have rockets, they don't even have, fantasy novels, they don't even have clean running water. They don't have reliable food, they don't have food delivery services, right? So we are already living in an age of miracles that the best part is we can control. And the magic spells that we cast are under the auspices of science. The wizardry that we create is through technology. And that's all manipulable through laws and rules and systems that we discover and we create. And that is incredible. We're all magicians. I couldn't ask for a better system. If an actual miracle showed up afterwards, suppose somebody showed up and turned loaves into fish or water into wine, that would destroy our world. Because all of a sudden you'd be like, oh my God, there's all these rules for this new thing that we don't understand how it works. So now science is junk and you wouldn't know how to navigate the world. And now you'd be at the mercy of demons and angels and spirits and you'd be running around worshiping and praying. Then you would pray because you'd be like, how do I make sense of this world? So I think we live in the best of all possible worlds.
Okay. I think the geography that one grows up in definitely determines their mindset in life to a large degree. And personally, my take on spirituality is affected by growing up in India. You read books like the autobiography of your yogi, you read the life of the Buddha. I definitely feel that there's a higher stage of consciousness, and I don't feel like we've reached the final state of evolution. There is definitely an end point which is also beyond the next stage of evolution. And I do believe that, you know, how you say that a calm mind is earned. I think that's one of the steps on the ladder, and then there's like higher stages.
I don't know how useful it is to prognosticate about where humanity is headed unless you get there yourself first. And you don't have the ability to do anything for anyone unless you embody it yourself. So to the extent that you think humanity is headed there, I say get there first and then show them the way.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.